Welcome to the TPC Desktop video series. In this video, we're looking at formatting survey line labels and some of the features that are new in TPC Desktop 2017. I've opened up a sample survey that we now include with Traverse PC called Sample Format Survey Line Labels. And this survey introduces you to some of the line label options via some drawings in it. And I've got a drawing open right now called Record Data. And in this video, we want to take a look at how I might use some of these new formatting options to show record data in my surveys. So let's go ahead and zoom over here on the drawing. And I've got four traverses for us. I've got auto above in black, auto above and below in blue. I've got aligned above and below with some extra offset in red, and aligned above extra offset in green. And the one thing I'm going to have you notice about all of these labels in this drawing is that they all have brackets around them. So I'm going to use brackets to show record data. In my legend, I might say bracket, record data per county survey number or per a recorded plat number, whatever it might be. And let's take a look at how we create these brackets. And then we'll take a look at the different formatting options. I want you to know, though, however, that this is one of the things that a lot of users have asked us for. They've said, I want to come in and put brackets or parentheses, maybe double brackets, double parentheses in these labels. But when I do that, I modify the text, and so I break that association with the values in the label and the survey data. Well, by having Traverse PC format the brackets in for you, you haven't lost that association. So if I change a point or cause the line bearing to be different or a line distance to be different, that'll be reflected in the label because I haven't modified the label. So these are great, and we're going to be looking at the brackets here for record data, but maybe you want to put a comma between some of the values, or you want to say distance equals for the distance. You've got a lot of flexibility, and we'll see how that happens when we take a look at the formatting. So let's jump right in. Let's double click anything that's part of this traverse, and let's take a look at how we format these. So I'm going to look at the control points, which control or create the labels for the tangents. We're auto right now, and auto simply says if it fits on the line, draw it parallel to the line or align it. If it doesn't fit on the line, make it stacked. Okay, so let's drop into the format label here. I want you to see, and I'm going to zoom in here pretty tight, I want you to see that if the label is aligned, I've told it, draw the distance first, that's the H. The backslash says, then drop down a line, and the B says, draw the direction, in this case a bearing. Now, I haven't used any of the above line or below line or inside outside. So if I don't specify above or below or inside outside, Traverse PC automatically creates the label above. And that's why in this first traverse, we've told Traverse PC that we want these line labels above. Now I have split the curve labels, and we'll show you that, but I put the line labels above. So Traverse PC is going to use this format for aligned labels, and this stacked format for stacked labels. They're basically the same because I've got distance above and direction below. But I want you to notice that I put brackets in here. So I've bracketed the H and I bracketed the B. Now the H and the B and the backslash are special characters because they're in this choose from box. But anything else, I'm free to put what I want. So I put brackets around it, and let's take a look at the label now. And I can see that I've got brackets around both the distance and the bearing. If I wanted to change this so that everything was on the same line and had brackets at the beginning and the end, then I could simply say OK, and Traverse PC would line those up. Now, the great thing about having text in a single line like this is that if I go into my drawing settings, I'm controlling the distance between words for the whole drawing. I'm going to raise that from 1 to 3, and Traverse PC is automatically going to put in a little more distance. So I don't have to specify that distance in the label formatting if I don't want to. I can let Traverse PC do that globally for the drawing. But let's come back in here and set it back the way I had it just a moment ago, where I said I want a bracket around the H, I want to do a new line, and a bracket around the B. Okay, so Traverse PC is going to draw that way. Now, let's take a look at the stacked label. The stacked label uses basically the same format, but it says I'm going to position that stacked label above the line and justify it right or left. So it does create just a little bit different formatting with that. I also can control the orientation when I stack it, and we looked at that in another video. Now, if I wanted to, I could change this to perpendicular, okay, and Traverse PC would draw this. Oh, excuse me, I wanted to do horizontal. My fault. Let's do parallel. So let's apply that now. And I now have a label that looks quite similar to the east-west line over here where it does fit. And I could simply say, okay, I want to just move this up a little bit. Kind of keep that similar look there. But again, because I'm doing record data, the most important thing is that I've got the brackets around there automatically. Okay, let's take a look at the curves. Same way. Here we've got an aligned curve and a stacked curve. So those are going to be controlled by the formatting in the curve spiral dialog. Again, the auto determines which label gets aligned and which label gets stacked. And I drop into the formatting. And again, here's that vertical line symbol right here in the middle of the curve formatting. So everything to the left goes above the bearing, the central angle, and the long chord distance. Everything to the right goes below the radius and the arc length. Okay. Again, I put brackets at the beginning of this above section and at the end, and the beginning of the below section and at the end. I could have bracketed each one of these if I wanted to. In fact, if we look at the stacked format, that's exactly what I did. I bracketed the B, I bracketed the long chord, bracketed the radius, the arc length, the tangent, and the central angle. So let's drop back and take a look then at how those brackets were created here. And if I just take a closer look here, I see I've got a bracket at the beginning, a bracket at the end above, same below, bracket at the beginning, bracket at the end here. If I look at my stacked label, I can see that every part of the label, every item in the label is bracketed. So again, I can go to my legend and say bracket is record data per whatever. And the great thing about this is that I haven't modified the text to do this. So it's still controlled. The values that are displayed here are still controlled by the survey data. I haven't broken that association.